All right, so today we are jumping into a really fascinating white paper called Agent God Complexes. And what it argues is that the hiring platforms we all use, well, they act like these all-knowing gods, right? They make these huge judgments about us based on super incomplete data, while we, the agents, are just kind of forced to play their game. It's a fundamentally broken system, and we're about to break down the paper's radical idea for how to fix it. I mean, you've felt this, right? We've all been there. You pour your heart and soul, all your experience, your skills, your personality even, into a resume, only for it to be scanned by some machine that's just looking for keywords. You just get flattened. You're reduced to a bunch of data points, and all the context that makes you, well, you, it just gets completely lost in translation. But what if there was another way? A system that could actually see the real you. One that gets your context, understands your hidden expectations, and sees your potential. Well, this paper says that kind of system is totally possible. And it all starts by rebuilding the entire hiring process around the most basic, most human thing we do. So before we can even get to the solution, we have to really understand the problem. And according to this paper, it's not just a few little bugs in the system. Oh no. The entire way we think about job platforms is flawed from the ground up. The paper's core diagnosis, and this is a big one, is that current platforms are blind by design. Their failure to understand us isn't an accident. It's not a bug. It's a feature. They were built to process static, simple data. But we're not static, are we? We're dynamic, complicated people. So by their very nature, they are guaranteed to miss what actually matters. And here's the key term the paper uses for this: assumption-blind systems. Think about it. These are systems that can only see the stuff on the surface. The keywords, the job titles, they are completely, totally blind to the hidden architecture that actually shapes meaning. Things like your context, your unspoken expectations, even your emotional state. And this blindness, well, it's exactly why they fail so often. And just look at this list of what's completely invisible to them. They can't see the huge power imbalance between a candidate and a manager. They can't see the pressure you feel to present a certain kind of identity, or the way your wants and needs might change. They basically miss almost everything that makes us human. Okay, so if static profiles and keyword matching are the problem, what's the answer? The paper makes a really powerful case for something we do every single day: conversation. But not just any conversation. We're talking about a structured, stabilized one. This is the central idea right here. The authors say that conversation is the smallest workable unit of alignment. So why is that? Because it's the only place where all those hidden assumptions we just talked about can actually come to the surface. It's the one place where two people can genuinely, truly start to understand each other. Now, what's so cool here is that alignment isn't just some vague, fuzzy feeling of, yeah, we get along. The paper defines it as a measurable state with 3 specific conditions. You both actually understand the goal, your hidden assumptions are compatible, and you're both ready to move forward. So think of it as alignment as actionability, not just alignment as a good vibe. This slide just captures the whole paradigm shift perfectly. The old way, static matching, treats people like these fixed, unchanging puzzle pieces. But the new way, coevolution, knows that we're adaptive, that true alignment isn't about finding some pre-existing perfect fit. It's a process where both people can actually grow and change and converge through the conversation itself. Okay, so conversation is the key. But anyone who's ever had a tough conversation knows they can go off the rails fast. And that's where the AI comes in. But its role is completely different from what you're probably thinking. This is maybe the most crucial point. The AI is not a judge, it is not a matchmaker. Its one and only job is to be a stabilizer, a neutral facilitator that keeps the conversation safe, productive, and clear. Think of it like a referee for mutual understanding. So how does it actually do that? Well, it acts like a set of guardrails for the conversation. It can tell when emotions are getting too high. It helps balance out that natural power difference between a hiring manager and a candidate. And most importantly, it gently points out when those hidden assumptions are starting to cause the conversation to drift into misunderstanding. This all sounds amazing in theory, right? But what does it actually look like? So let's just walk through a little simulation to see how this AI stabilizer would work in a real hiring chat. So our simulation starts with something we have all heard a million times from a hiring manager. We need someone who can handle a high-pressure environment. Sounds simple enough, but that phrase is absolutely loaded with hidden meaning. And the candidate, of course, gives the right answer. Oh yeah, I thrive under pressure. On the surface, this looks like perfect alignment. Everyone's nodding, everyone feels good, but they could be talking about two completely different realities. And there it is. This is the moment. The AI stabilizer steps in because it has detected a critical mismatch that both of the humans totally missed. It has spotted a dangerous, invisible landmine that could blow up months down the road. So, what did it find? It found what the paper calls an unset assumption. And this is the most dangerous kind of all, because neither person even realizes they have it. They both think they agree on what high pressure means, but their secret internal definitions are worlds apart. Now, just look at how the AI handles this. It's so smart. It doesn't give an answer, it doesn't pick a side, it just neutrally flags the ambiguous phrase and invites both people to clarify it for themselves. It creates what's called a repair loop. So now the manager can say, oh, by high pressure, I mean you'll be working weekends. And the candidate can say, ah, I thought you meant tight deadlines during the week. A massive misalignment was just prevented. Now, a tool this powerful absolutely needs a serious ethical framework. And the paper is incredibly clear that this AI has to be governed by strict, non-negotiable rules to protect the people using it. This right here is the grounding principle for the entire system. Human dignity comes first, always. The goal of alignment can never, ever be used as an excuse to exploit or coerce or harm another person. And this isn't just a nice idea. It's actually enforced through hard-coded termination conditions. The AI is programmed to immediately shut down the conversation if it detects any of these red lines. If someone's being coerced, if emotions get dangerously volatile, if power is being used to shut someone down, or if consent is withdrawn. Because a truly ethical system knows when to stop. And this all leads to a really powerful conclusion. The goal isn't to force a hire. The goal is truth. In this system, realizing that you are not a good match is a successful outcome. It prevents months, maybe years of misery and misunderstanding down the line. Clarity is the real prize here. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative final thought. This tech was designed for hiring, but its potential is just so much bigger. I mean, if an AI can act as a neutral, stabilizing referee for a job interview, just imagine what other difficult, emotionally charged conversations it could help us repair. What else could we finally begin to understand about each other?